Okay.
Calling the Dorchester County Parks and Recreation Commission meeting to order on February 15th at 6 p.m. I'll go ahead and do the invocation and the pledge, if you would bow. Lord God, we just thank you so much for the day that you've given us, the great weather, the place that you have called us to live. God, help us to do your will and to always look to you, Lord, for making all our paths straight. God, we just ask for protection and healing on those who are sick. Lord, we love you so much. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from January 15th meeting,
I'll do
or
that.
25th meeting, sorry?
I'll do that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Those who approve, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Did Byers
Aye.
say aye?
He did. Do we have any public comments? Hearing no public comments, we'll move on to Mr. Austin and introduction of new staff members for the Parks and Recreation Department.
Thank you, Mr. Debney. It's my pleasure to introduce, we have 3 new employees in the Park and Rec Department. We've grown by like 150%. Gentleman on the far end is Mr. Keith Eno. He's the park manager for Ashley River Park.
Oh.
This is Mr. Laquan Priest. He's the assistant manager at Ashley River Park. And then Mr. Rigel Coker is our new admin assistant. So we're super excited to have them on board. They really hit the ground running, and it's nice to have a team to work together and really start to make some progress here.
That was awesome. It was nice meeting y'all the other night. I actually saw them the other night.
Where? Out in the...
They were off the clock at the time.
Oh, really? I see what you mean now.
All right, and then now we'll just move into the park improvement project updates.
Okay, we're really getting towards the nitty gritty, the punch list items, the small things that don't seem like huge tasks, but just do take time. The screen porch construction is pretty much complete except for doors that we're waiting to get shipped in. We're still waiting on updated certifications from the contractor with the flood proofing in place. The cypress siding around Ashley River is 99% complete. Guardhouse, again, about 95% complete. We're still working on a little bit of landscaping punch list items. Hopefully we'll get that furniture package here in soon. The staff is working on an operations punch list as far as getting the park opened in a capacity to operate and being ready for the public. Mr. Priest has been tasked with rigorously testing the recreation software. It's looking really good. Foresee no issues with that to be able to open to the public. We are still waiting on ADA access ramps for the 2 playgrounds. Once they get put in, we've been in close contact with the vendor. They're gonna have someone out here to install them, and we don't foresee any issues with that. As well as a couple other punch list items for the playground before we can get it inspected to allow the public on it. The plan is for the ribbon cutting to be on March 18th, and to start off a really busy weekend out there. We're in works with a event consultant to put together an evening soiree for all the folks that have worked so hard over last 10 years to get this park open. So that's the plan for that evening. Saturday, the plan is open to the public. And then Sunday's that Ashley River Adventure Race. So we're gonna have a really big weekend to start it off with. And then staff is also looking at having a series of events, one in April and one in May, to invite the public to come out. The details are still being worked out, but we're looking at April's gonna be a nature interpretive-based event. And then the one in May will be more family, fun-friendly food, music, and stuff for the kiddos to do. So that is the plan. That is the plan in place as far as opening up to the public and providing opportunities for folks to come enjoy the park that they've been so patiently waiting on. Excuse me. We're still waiting on some supplies to come in for the front gate to be built. If for some reason that stuff doesn't come in time, staff does have a plan in place to have a temporary security gate up front so that won't slow anything down. You name it, punch list items, dumpster replacement, fence around the dumpster, getting up dog waste bags, and just, I can bore you all night. So that's the gist of the Ashley River Park status right now. So Davis Bailey, staff has asked the Dixie Youth Baseball League to put together a proposal of how they best need and see fit the use of the fields. And then staff is doing the same thing, where we haven't heard anything from them yet, but once we do, we'll meet with them again and see where the gaps are so that we can work together and get them, at the very least, practicing on those fields. We've also reached out to the YMCA to provide other programming with Davis Bailey. Talks have yet to really gain steam on that. All of our playgrounds have received their annual inspection. Everything came back good. We're except for the Ashley River Park, which we need to seal up some punch items before we get it under inspected. We're hoping that we'll get the memorial plaques delivered any day now. The conceptual sketches have been provided by ADC for the shade structures at Davis Bailey. The quote came back high, so we're reevaluating. We're updating the signage out there as well to reflect the new hours of operation. And I believe we already talked about the vinyl fence that was placed around the transformer last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So let's move on to Pine Trace. We're still working on closing budgetary gaps. We talked about last meeting, the budget, bringing the scope within the $4.8 million budget. So staff is still evaluating that and trying to figure out the best way to provide the most service for the most people of Dorchester County. Swan Drive River access, staff requested that the designs get relooked at so that the boardwalk can enter further into the river and provide 24/7 access to the river and not just during the high tides. And Rosebrook Park is, we met with the playground consultant. They came out and did their yearly check. They said everything looks good. They said it looks like it's getting a lot of use, which is great. Yeah, it really is. You go out there on a nice day and it's packed full of kids. The wood chips have already gotten packed down pretty good, so staff is gonna have to put a system in place to ensure that that we can keep up with that. And that is pretty much everything I have on the park improvement projects. If anybody has any questions.
When the Bailey Davis Park, the pond, anybody stopped that pond yet?
I'm not sure. I can look into that. But we are in talks with DNR about the pond at Ashley River. They're gonna come out and do a survey of the pond to kind of see what's in there. And then they're gonna provide their suggested plan moving forward. So we can reach out to them about Davis Bailey as well.
Did you know that they had stocked the park at Ashley River before, the pond at Ashley River before?
No, I wasn't aware.
So when Eric was here, they did that, and I can't remember what they exactly stocked it with, but it was years ago.
Okay.
And then we had,
Bass and brim.
yeah. What'd you say, Jay?
Bass and brim.
Okay, and then we had the flood, and then it washed all those down the river.
Sure.
Well, but drop some striper off in there just
Yeah.
for good measure when the water flooded too, though.
Well, there's certainly still fish in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the evening time, there's probably hundreds of birds using
Oh,
it
gosh.
as a place to hang out, so. And staff is, we're gonna start to put our heads together and start to get a calendar of programming for this next fiscal year, so that it can be budgeted for, and we can start to really get our identity as far as what the public wants to see out there, not only at Ashley River, but also at Davis Bailey.
Awesome, thank you.
Oh, while I have you guys, I did want to, we have two exciting things that are being finalized and ordered. This right here will be the annual pass.
Oh, that's cute.
As you know, it'll be $40 for a resident for a year, and then 80 for a non-resident, and that'll get up to 9 people in the car in the park. And the back has a barcode that can be scanned so that we can track usage. Jay, we're still trying to figure out who to give the 0001 to, so if you have any suggestions, let me know.
All right. I'll think on that.
And then our brochure has been finalized as well.
Oh,
For the Ashley River Park. This will be something that people can grab at the front gate, and it gives them information on our other parks, our contact information, hours, as well as a map of the grounds, including the trail. So we're excited about those. Those should be coming in the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
Are those online?
Not yet.
So, awesome.
Yes, sir.
Just kind of doubling back to Pine Trace real quick. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing this year, if we can get this to work, is we're going to be, if we could do a new penny sales tax referendum for transportation, part of what that penny sales tax is going to be, we'll do it very similar to Charleston County, and have a percentage that is basically for greenbelt funds that can be used for trail enhancements and things like that. So that'll be a funding source to be able to do some of the trail work that we have on our agenda. So we may want to consider that when we're considering scaling back the Pine Trace budget. We may be able to accomplish that trail work in a different manner so that we don't have to scale back on Pine Trace.
Okay. Yeah, that's exciting because I have been reached out to by numerous people concerned about, Chandler Creek, and there is a dire want for that whole trail system to get connected. I've been in talks with Amy in the town of Somerville, And I actually just had a meeting with our Public Works Department today about the connection over by the Oak Brook facility. There are some hurdles in the way, but I think we're really just scratching the surface on that, and we'll see what we can do to make it work.
Okay, well, I mean, I mean, now I'm just one vote on council, but I haven't seen any pushback yet. If we were able to do a new transportation penny, we would allocate a percentage of that, at least with my vote, to do some greenbelt funds, which would give us funding to do some trail stuff. So with that in mind, just maybe think about Pine Trace, not scaling it back and gutting it if we can do it right.
Yeah.
And we'll know more over the next couple of months on that.
Okay. Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, I'm eager to, as you all know, every day we sit on some of these designs, things get more expensive. So,
Yes.
I think it's important to start moving forward, especially on Pine Trace, get it open to the public, and then it'll just be a work in progress.
Well, and this body may need to consider making a recommendation to go ahead and fully fund Pine Trace, because the only mechanism to fully fund the parks is what we have here. We can find different mechanisms to do trail work that would be outside of this scope. So we may have to consider, and also we might just need to look at that and get some guidance on what we need to make a decision as a body to just go ahead and do that and make that recommendation to council. But that's certainly something that I would want us to look at sooner rather than later, for exactly what you said. It's not going to get any cheaper to build these things.
Mm-mm.
And that's not to say that we're giving up on trails, because that's just as important to me. I just think that we're going to have a different funding vehicle in the future to be able to do that work with, that would be able to be used to build Pine Trace.
So then do we need to make a motion to council that they fund the park minus the trail system?
I would want staff to get together and discuss that a little bit first before we make any motions
Okay.
tonight personally.
Okay.
I'd want them to kind of just vet that idea out a little bit and then maybe bring it back to us.
Yeah, because we kind of want to know too how eager, Jay said he definitely would support it, but how eager other members of council would support that too.
And just to be clear, we have been working with the consultant. We have been asking the consultant to break out all the different elements that are included in Pine Trace and the different phases, give us different scenarios, and we're still waiting for that information. Rebecca has called to try to ramp that up again with the consultant. Our intent is we want to get this on the agenda in the future, probably next month, bring something back to you that's vetted by the administration with the intent to show you what we can do with the funding, the 4.8 that we have. And then I think it would be appropriate at that time
Okay.
to make a recommendation.
That's a good call, Brian. And Austin, let's talk about the big weekend. So we're talking about doing a dedication on Friday, like during the day, and then doing a soiree Friday evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Saturday, the park's just open to the general public. Everybody come out, have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, we're running the race, but the park obviously would still be open as well.
Yep.
And it's just open after that point. Is that kind of where we're going to be?
Yeah, that's gonna be our grand, our introduction to the public. I expressed some of the expectations for just kind of like a blowout event. The event consultants kind of affirmed some of my concerns as far as lack of parking and to invite a humongous crowd out on our very first weekend that we're open. So this is our attempt at starting at something that is kind of starting slow and then building from there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. You still working with Griffith?
I'm sorry, you broke up?
You're working with Brandy Griffith on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've known Brandy a long time, so she knows what she's doing.
Oh, no, she knows she knows her stuff. Yeah.
She does. So that's good. We're in good hands there. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, we've got to do something too big. I mean, we got to kind of walk a little bit forward. Plus, we got that race on Sunday, so I'm sure we'll have plenty of kinks to work out with our new staff. So, yeah, we can always do a bigger weekend than the springtime, a little bit more, so that's good.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, are we going to start putting that out there if we're doing this soiree with getting invitations out? When is the timeline for that? Because we're about a month out now.
Yeah. And I'm meeting with her again on Thursday. So I think things will certainly get even more cemented then. But yes, that was the thought. Get invitations out, give invitations out to the Park and Rec Commission, give invitations to give out on the county council, and kind of just provide a kind of an intimate opportunity for folks to come out and take a look at what everyone's been working on for all these years.
Okay.
We do have a meeting, just to kind of go to the next bullet. We do have a meeting, or a pre-bid meeting on Friday for our adventure course and climbing wall requests. So we're excited to see who shows up and comes out to that. And
When is that again?
I'm sorry?
When is that again?
Friday.
Okay.
Friday at 3 o'clock.
3
We're
o'clock.
going to meet out at the Outfitters building.
So we're hoping we'll get some good interest on that and see. We decided to do the RFP for a just adventure course climbing wall, instead of including the kayaks with it, because we didn't want to scare anybody off. We feel like there's not a lot of people that do both. Mostly just Charleston County does both, and they do it in-house. So we think by having them be separate, we'll get more interest for the meeting. Forgive me, Brian, what's the MOU between
The MOU?
those?
Yeah, I put that on there to make an announcement about that. I can,
Did we go, was the RFP part of the special events and recreation programs?
no, Austin jumped down to number 8.
Okay.
He was under the announcement.
So,
So, yeah,
but
just
all that stuff about the big weekend is under
special
special
events.
events and recreation programs now. Okay.
I apologize, I got excited.
So it's just to circle back to the RFP, that the bids are due March 8th. And depending on what we get in, the intent is we'll review those in-house. We'll bring them back to the commission at the next meeting with a bid result and recommendation.
Okay.
And then the other item is regarding the MOU between the Dorchester County and the YMCA. I think most of you are aware that the administration has been reaching out to the Y over the last couple months just to discuss ways to do programming out at the Oak Brook Sports Complex. We don't have the staff, and we're not in the business to run recreation activities. So we reached out to the Y, particularly Mr. Ward, the county administrator, has been having these conversations, and within the last couple of weeks, there has been a draft or draft MOU that has been prepared, and I believe Mr. Debney has shared that with his board. It's still going through fine-tuning, and hopefully, very shortly, we'll have a product that Mr. Ward can take to county council. But it just shows that the willingness of the Y to work with the county and put this partnership together on the parcels out there in Oak Brook. I don't know if you want to say any more on that, but
I think
we're excited about it.
you summed it up perfectly. Anyone have any questions for Austin or Brian? We're glad to have y'all. You too.
You most of all, you know.
Yes, right. If without you, we wouldn't have them.
Doing the notes also, so I don't have to do it.
I'm writing everything down, so, yeah.
But you do them so well, I don't know if we want to take it away from you.
Your handwriting's probably prettier than mine.
Oh, yeah? Only I can read it.
That's what counts.
You're already making friends.
You translate it for us.
Well, y'all have anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Exciting.
It is.
Yeah,
Got a lot going on right now.
Welcome aboard too.
yeah.
We're glad to have you. Glad we're gonna have a place. We'll need all that, so that's great.
What time that ribbon cutting again? The ribbon cutting?
On the 18th,
I mean, what's the time?
we still haven't hashed all that stuff
Yeah,
out.
we're trying to model it similar to the way we did the ribbon cutting for Davis Bailey. So we were thinking a morning type program following that same itinerary. So I know, I haven't had a chance to talk to Austin about that. In my meetings I had with the county administrator, that's the format that we wanted to follow.
Okay.
So I think that ribbon cutting started at 10 o'clock.
Something for 10 o'clock.
Comments, it lasted about an hour.
It was great.
Yeah.
And then y'all don't have a time for the soiree either yet.
We're still hashing all
Okay,
that stuff out.
cool.
That's the rough draft.
But it's-
We're thinking like a 5 to 8.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think when we did packet pickup, we did it on, well, obviously the race was on a Saturday, so we did it on Friday.
Right.
But
So maybe we'll do packet on Saturday.
yeah,
Yeah.
So that'll get a lot of people come out into the park too, if they go in there to pick up their packets.
yeah.
Yeah. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to keep it open on Saturday, to just allow the public to come enjoy it. I think we'll see a really great crowd,
Oh, yeah.
you know, so.
People want to see it for the first time before they run it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. Well, if y'all don't have anything else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
A motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thanks, Jay.
What's the time?
Y'all.